Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is very different, my wonderful, incredible, I'm buttering you up now, listeners and viewers, because this is probably not what you would normally turn to in a podcast or a YouTube episode. This is about dating. Now, for a lot of people, you reach a certain age, people's relationships break down, which is very sad. I'm so insanely jealous of all of you who are in happy long-term marriages. Yes, I'm so happy for you. Good for you. That's not everyone's story. This woman, Patti Stanger, she's been a reality TV star, the Millionaire Matchmakers Club. She is phenomenal in what she does. She essentially puts people together. And I know a lot of you are successful, hardworking, you're of a certain age. You might be looking to dip your toe back in, but the thought of like Tinder makes you physically ill. Don't worry, me too. So I wanted to get her on for something very different, yes, but to talk about how you dip your toe back into dating when you're a little bit older. You might have already been married. You might have little kids. You might have kids who are older. You might not have kids. It's a really fascinating conversation. And yes, she tries to sell me too. You'll wait and see how that goes. I'm on my 1 year single by choice. 1 year single. Cannot be tempted. Or can I? Please enjoy. Patti, thank you so very much for joining us here on the Erin Molan Show. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for bringing me on. I have been a fan of yours since the beginning. You were one of the first people next to Douglas Murray who was out there on the streets saying everything was untrue. And us Jews, we love you. So just like you need to
Oh,
know that from the bottom of our heart, we really, you're not Jewish. You didn't have to do this. And the fact that you were out there showing the truth, right on.
bless you. It still makes me so uncomfortable that you should have to thank me for just telling the truth, but I get it because
I mean,
most
like, there's
don't.
no reporting like you. I mean,
No, it's
CNN, MSNBC, I don't know what they have in other countries, but we're here
it's just as bad.
by George Soros and Qatar, and you have to get on X, thank God for X, to get like
Yes.
real time, like what we're dealing with Mondami right now. So you and Douglas, I was like, two people, not Jewish, really seeing what's going on. Thank you, God, really.
Bless you. So tell me this, I'm going off script here. Why the bloody hell am I single then if I'm so amazing?
Well, the smarter you are, the harder it is to find a man. It's definitely not your looks, because I know if I were a red-blooded man, it has to do with we see like, okay, because you're basically an private investigator, that's who you really are, like more than a reporter. You see energy and you see right through the core.
Yeah,
99% of the population is not at your elevated level. And so while you're single, now that I know you're single, I'll keep you on the back burner, by the way.
please.
Now, while you're single, women, as they age up, have their money, their finances in order,
Yes.
they have their lives. Trust me, they all want to have sex, they all want to get married. Maybe they want to live together if they've had a bad marriage, but they want to mate. And the men right now, we have theories on this in the United States. We don't know if it's internationally because you have different laws, but we have plastic water. Even though I love my water,
Right.
it's in plastic.
Yeah.
And the plastic is a hormone disruptor. So what happens is between the chemicals, the GMO, everything going on, the girls getting their periods earlier because the hormonal food, they basically have become feminine energy, and their drive
Oh,
and their testosterone is out of the body because it's like, wah, 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 wah.
do you know what?
That's
So I've had partners, two long-term relationships my whole life. This is the first time I've been single, and I forced myself to do 1 year alone, and I'm up to October, started in January. It's been the greatest year of my life. The greatest. It would take something phenomenal to convince me to give up this existence. No more
that's when,
toxic.
okay,
It's the
so
greatest.
manifest love, the one that you never have to date again. You got to go alone, and that
Yes.
will level you up, because the more internal you are, the more you get comfortable with yourself. Oh, it's a bad Saturday night, I'm alone, I don't have someone to go to the Christmas party or the wedding. And you go, all right, it's one night. Like New
Yeah.
Year's Eve is one night, it comes every year. Valentine's too. Then you start to go, do I really want to get out of the house? Is that
Yes.
going to really
I
benefit?
don't.
I'll tell a funny story in a minute about I'm single too. So I took 2 years off. I'm
Yes.
over 2 years since my last relationship, which was very painful. Asked me to marry him. Everything was great. And he was basically a narcissist.
Yeah.
And I had come from an alcoholic narcissistic father, and I was mirroring the dad. Now,
Oh,
me, the matchmaker who fixed up everyone, I would always go for sex and worry about the money later, which got me into a really bad place. He would inherit money, but didn't have money now. And he said, at the end, there was a really bad breakup. At the end, he said, I was intimidated by your success. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I lost 4 jobs
yeah.
in COVID, including one in Australia to do a major TV show that I'm really upset we
Wow.
ended up doing, that I created, called Millionaire Mansion. And I was going to
Wow.
make a lot of money. I had a contract with Hallmark. All this shit went away, right? I wasn't working when you met me, but then I got a job at the CW. And even though it was a
Yeah.
small, tiny job and a small, tiny network, he never told me he was intimidated. And that's what will happen. So then
Yes.
the ultra alpha guy that makes a lot of money, thinks he's hot shit, he tends to go, can I say, I don't hope I curse. I hope.
Please. Please.
Okay, I
I'm
know.
Australian, honey. I'm horrific.
And he tends to date the younger woman who's kind of clueless. And if you give her a purse and put her in the corner, she's happy. But
Yeah.
when two power people come together, which you would probably want equal or greater, you got to wait. And then you got to like go in. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to get on your knees and beg God. You just have to go, I'm not going to take crap because I don't
Yes.
time. My peace is way more important than me
That's
having a killer date to go to a concert with.
I love that so much. And that was my thing. I used to crave all these different things and the perfect relationship and happiness and blah. All I want now is peace. And it's okay to have highs and lows. I have moments where I'm good, moments where I'm not so good. But overall, peace. And it's the greatest existence. You're exactly right. Tell me, Patty, because a lot of people who watch this show and listen to this podcast, they're very successful, hugely professional, very invested in politics, national security. We cover a lot of that here. I know a lot of them work incredibly hard and put love on the back burner. What advice would you give to people who maybe are beyond? So I'm in a good place now on my own, and again, not really open at the moment, but we'll see. But for people
Um,
who are eager and ready to meet someone, how do they do it? Say you're in your 40s and your 50s or even your 60s.
well, we learned now for girls, the eggs don't dry up. It's the sperm. We now know scientifically
Yes.
recently that we've been sold a bill of goods, just like COVID, the COVID shot, sold a bill of goods. So you really got to do your own investigative homework. You have to realize you're not in a competition. So if Susie, Mary Jane, and your sister and whoever get married, push them away. You
Yeah.
have to feel the energy to want to get out of the house and not be disappointed if you don't meet someone online. You can join a matchmaker. You can travel. Like, for instance, with you, I'm psychic, I read vibration. You got to get to the United States. So where are you right
I'm
now?
coming on Thursday. I'm here in Sydney, but I'm in New York, Florida, LA, and then Canada for a
Florida,
very
Florida,
Florida.
Florida. Where are you going in Florida?
Oh God, I should know. I think Miami. You should. It's on my schedule.
I don't know
I'm
why,
doing
but
speaking.
I get like Boca Raton for you. I don't know what I'm getting Boca.
Right.
I might have to
I
call my
mean,
girlfriends. Jill Zarin, one of my best friends from Housewives in New York, is there. I gotta make a phone call for you
I
because
love.
um, you gotta move the cheese. So if you've lived, like, I get on the phone with women all day long, they DM me everywhere, and they're like, I'm in Chicago, there are no men. I'm like, we'll go to Austin, go to Montana,
Wow.
go to freaking, Vermont. I don't care. Get out of your own
Yes.
city because you got to summon the energy. That's why we often go away on vacation and we'll have flings.
Yeah.
Stella got a prove that kind of moment, and it's
Love
because you
that
don't care.
movie.
You don't care if you'll ever see him again, and then boom, it turns into a love story. So you got to move the cheese. You got to do things you don't want to do alone because those who
Yes.
travel in packs don't attract. Men are intimidated by a group. First of all, they got to buy everyone a drink in the group. They got to get criticized by the friends of the group. So there's always one girl that's like jealous, like, ooh, I don't really like him for you because she wants him. There's one girl, like, seriously. There's one girl
Yeah.
that basically will upstage you and stick her boobs in front of, the guy's face. The guy's like, get out of the way, I want your friend back there. And so there's always like a competition going on when you go out with girls. If you separate, it's one thing. But like, I was at a country western concert many years ago with my boyfriend at the time. I'm not seeing anyone now. And Zach Brown was friends with his cousin. So we went to the concert. I didn't even know who Zach Brown was. Please forgive me, Nashville. And I get there and it's the best looking people I have ever seen. I was coming out of the bathroom, like not even caring about my brain. Like, what about that one? What about that one? And they were single men walking everywhere like it's Stagecoach. That would be a great place to meet people. But if I
Yes.
told you that, you'd be like, I don't want to go. I don't wanna. I go, you don't have to like the music. Just get your ass there. So
Yes.
most people get stuck in their heads going, I can't find anyone. I'm too fat. I'm too old. I'm too short. I'm too this. I'm too that. And I'm going, you live in your own reality. But if you saw I have a cousin who's not very attractive. And growing up, me and my other cousins were skinny. We were pretty and we didn't feel it. She felt
Yeah.
like she was the most gorgeous looking movie star you ever saw. To this day, she gets men left and right
I
because
love
she
it.
lives reality. You got to change your
Yeah.
reality. It's very hard because I was critical. I'd look at magazine pictures going, I don't look like that.
Yeah.
I'm not what would we call those models back in the day? Like the supermodel. I was a
Yeah.
Victoria's. So I was like, oh, I can't get that. But my cousin's like, I can. Men love me. Men want me. And she always, had that delusion, but guess what? It worked for her.
I love that. You make so many key points. And I say this to girlfriends as well. I've got girlfriends who have been single for 10 years and they are desperately seeking a partner. And that's okay. But I say to them, what are you doing then to find one? Because when it comes to work and you want a promotion, you will dedicate every waking hour to achieving that. You desperately want a partner more than you want a promotion and you're doing nothing. You put yourself out there, get out there, go to bars alone, go to concerts. I love going to places alone. I go to restaurants, I go to bars.
You
I
have
went
to
to
because
watch,
you're a hoarder. Like you
well,
have to
and I
realize you have to
travel
be you're in
alone.
the face of like of these, you're like fearless because you got to get
Yeah,
the comment out of them. You don't
exactly.
you took that information and applied it to men.
Yes.
Problem is if you walk up to a man and you ask him out your masculine energy, that's the bad part.
Yeah.
You have to like learn to lure them in by basically giving them the 5-second flirt or using the
Yeah.
butt that like speaking so that you don't look like, hey, what time is it? Or do you know what
Yeah.
floor? Like ask for directions or what time it is, your masculine energy. But if you go
Yeah.
and you're like this, fat as a mouse, ugly as
For
crap,
those,
they're going to see a vagina. That's all they see. So they will come towards you unless they're with somebody else,
yeah.
they're engaged or whatever, or gay. That's all there is to it. Or they're feminine energy and you don't want them anyway because they won't,
Oh,
because feminine energy man's going to come towards you. But if you're smelling good, looking good, smiling, inviting is what I like to
yeah.
say, they're going to walk across. Now, here's the problem. Different men in different countries are different people, different cities, different states. So like, we all loved Hugh Jackman. That was like our poster boy for Australia, right? Although I would
Yeah.
give Hemsworth a run for their money. Anyway, so but the thing is, like, you believing that he's already here. I have a love attraction coach, and she used to say to me, do you believe he's in your house with you, making dinner, running the bath, watching TV with you? And I go, what do you mean? She goes, fantasize that he's there. You've had boyfriends before. They've slept in that bed. They've cooked dinner with you. Imagine him. Spend time every night for 1 hour a night. You don't have to do it every day,
Yeah.
consistently 3, 4 times a week. And imagine that man is there. That man has to show up. That is the law of physics. But if you go, no, I can't, and you're doom scrolling all day long on the phone, and then you're comparing yourself to 25-year-old influencers, you're screwed. Screwed. Like we don't see women, like women over 50 have not seen true men online for a very long time. They might slip into the DMs for the 25-year-olds, but they're not showing their wares. They're private, they're old profiles on Facebook, like they're not
Yeah.
out there in the trenches where women are like, look at me, I went to, Bermuda, like I'm on a yacht. Like they're all like, look, look, look. But
Yeah.
men aren't doing that. So you have to get out of the house. So you can't be on
Yes.
the phone. If you're disappointed in app dating and you've never tried a matchmaker, I would recommend. But if you can't seem to get anything going energetically, you got to get out of the house. That's just the law of nature. Go to a golf course and start learning how to play golf. You're going to meet 1,000 men. Now, they may not be your guy, but they will introduce you. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I was in Boca for the holidays for Rosh Hashanah, and I had fixed a couple up. They'd gotten married. They lived at the most expensive country club. They invited me for Rosh Hashanah, and one of their friends I also fixed up. Now, this guy I barely spoke to in 1,000 years. He called me up today and said, hey, I got a guy for you. You told me you were looking. I met someone in real estate. Hey, you got to say, hey, you know anyone?
Yes.
What you do, here's my number. If you know anyone, I'll fix you up if they're single and you fix me up. Get the referral. Because sometimes you go on a date with someone and you don't like them and you're like, but he would be a good friend to go to an event with. I tell you what, I'll fix you up if you fix me up. Or you have an opposite sex
I
barbecue.
love that.
Got to make your own social life a priority like you do your work, or it's never going to
Yeah.
work, because we are so stuck, not just in our own homes, we're stuck in our minds. That's the bad part.
I mean, I sound like a broken record because I keep saying that's such a brilliant point. But you're right regarding women, and women who are 20, 30, 40, 50 are on Instagram or and doing all the like, oh, the what do they call them? Thirst traps and posting
That's
gorgeous
their
photos but there ain't no one in our target market actually bloody
By
looking
the
at
way,
them. So what's the
I'm
point?
not,
It's such a waste.
I have a favorite makeup influencer. I will not tell you who she is, but she's the biggest one on TikTok, and she's filtered
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
along. She's a makeup influencer. Why is she filtering? Because everyone is filtering.
Yeah.
Like, get
Yeah.
over the filter thing. So if you think you're going to compare yourself to a filtered person and you're unfiltered, you're
Yeah.
delusional. Get
Yeah.
a man wants to taste, touch, and smell. That's what he
Yes.
wants. He can't do that online because
I
they're
love this.
rigged. They're rigged by a man falls in love between his eyes and a woman falls in love between their ears. But there's one common denominator between the two: smell. The neurotransmitter, the
Ah,
science in the brain will trigger I like or I don't like. A lot of times it's the opposite immunity system, because it says if the two of us are opposite, we're not from the same tribe, we can have healthy children together. Now you get past 50 and the game is rigged, because then the women are the men and the men are the women, because we lose estrogen and increase testosterone, and they do the reverse. So you've got to rig it for a different kind of man when you turn past 50 and you're in
yeah.
menopause and they're in menopause. And don't think there's no menopause. Their menopause exists. It's all equal opportunity here. I also think that one of the problems we're having is that men are not men. They don't really
Oh,
want to be alpha. They don't really, it's like, oh, that's a lot of work. Well, here's the thing. Do you want to get laid? So it's because the testosterone has dropped. So those who hit the gym, now I'm going to tell you something that's pretty obvious, and you're all going to go, gym. The gym guys have testosterone, because when
yeah.
you lift weights, you increase testosterone naturally. Some of them are on the peptides and the biohacking and all that stuff, but those guys are like horn dogs. So you have to figure it out. Even though you don't want them to only want you for sex, you want them to want you for intimacy and sex. And you control the board. You don't have to sleep with them. Like, I have no
Yeah.
sex before monogamy. But you got to realize, if you're meeting an athlete, even if he's 60, he's going to have more testosterone and may not have to take the blue
Yes.
pill. Where the 30-year-olds are like, wah. I'm eating, I'm drinking my smoothies, my kale
Oh,
smoothie, like,
sorry.
and I
This
don't ever seen a steak in my life.
it's and look, I was going to say you're not allowed to say it. I am allowed to say whatever I like. It is so unattractive. I just want men to be men. It doesn't mean I need you to start a fight with every second person on the street, but like, don't wax. Like, you don't need to wax unless it's, makes you feel good. But I just want blokes to be blokes. I want a bloke who'll have a beer, who's not having celery juice. I mean, I have it every morning, but I just want a manly man. Is that too much to ask for? Are
I
they a
thought
dying
Australia,
breed?
I thought Australia was the poster boy for
Well,
manly men. What
they
I've seen,
were.
movie
Some of them
stars.
are, but too many of them are moving into this kind of, oh no, I don't drink. And like I don't that's a good thing. I know, I get it, but I like balance. I have celery juice in the morning so I can have wine at night.
I,
That's how
I
I
watch a
practice.
lot of Australian TV, and I watched Doctor, and I was obsessed with Roger Corser. I had a biggest crush on him.
Oh, he's amazing.
The actor, whenever a matchmaker wanted to fix me up, I go, do you know who Roger Corser is? And they, of course, didn't. So I sent it over, oh, he's hot. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I want. But
I do know
I
his
thought
wife.
his
That
wife's
probably doesn't help.
adorable.
She's
Yeah, I'm
beautiful.
pretty much, no, I meant like the type. Like, you said,
Yes.
okay. So the type, or like Carl Urban from New Zealand, like,
Yes.
he's like like a rugged guy. And I would watch these because they would feel more masculine to me than the American actors here, because they're
Yeah.
like, and they're all short. They're all like really tall. I like a tall 6'2" guy. I hate the short ones. So, but, I went on a date the other night. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So I went on a date the
Please.
other night. I I read energy. So I didn't really like him on the phone, and I felt like he was inconsistent in his texting. So I told my friend no, and it was another matchmaker, and she's like, please go out with him. I've got a problem. I can't fix him up. Everyone, including a very famous actress, blocked him and ghosted him. So I said, all right, I'll go on the date with you. So we go on the date. He's okay looking. He's not gorgeous. He's very wealthy, been married twice, no kids. I don't like men that don't have kids at my age, because I feel they're selfish, and he
Yeah.
was very about himself. And he took me to a very expensive private club. We had a lovely dinner, and he started getting sexual with me, like talking sexual. So I
Yeah.
leaned in, and they said, you haven't had sex in a while, have you? And he goes, I haven't in a year since my divorce. And I went, do you ever think this is the reason you're single? So instead of me giving him Patti Stanger 101, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He says to me, all I want now, this is how you're gonna be vetting. This point of the story is that you're gonna vet men. You're gonna
Yeah.
know not to waste your time just because the resume looks right. Like, he has the money, he looks good, he wants to take you to Europe. No. You're gonna know instantly to get out when they say something wrong, as opposed to giving. Everybody had their mother that goes, give him a chance. You've been single
Yeah.
so long. No, don't give him a chance. So he says, all I want to do is put my head in your lap, you rub my hair, and tell me everything's going to be okay. What does that sound like today?
A desperation. He needs a mum.
He wants a mother he can fuck. So I tell my friend that. My friend says, what's wrong with him? And I go, and she goes, oh my God, that's exactly what's wrong with him. I said, well, you better tell him, because he's not going to find love. Unless it's a girl that's
Wow.
using him and doesn't care about him. So what I'm trying to say is, the point is, I vetted him in that instant. I had a wonderful dinner, checked out a new private club in LA, fantastic,
Yeah.
the Bungalow. And I just thought, you know what? Like, I'm getting really sharper with my intuition, because back in the day, if I thought someone
Yeah.
was cute, hot, whatever, I'd go, oh, who cares what they said? But
Yes.
now I know nothing will destroy my peace unless
That
it's right.
is key. And I don't say this because I'm 42 but the me of 20 was far less desirable to men, was far less picky and fussy, was far less attractive, even though physically I was 20 and a 20-year-old version of what I am now. I feel like women are just getting hotter, more attractive, and I'm finding I get more attention from men now than I ever have in my life, and I'm a 42-year-old single mum.
Relax.
We've got to
Relax.
stop repeating this thing that women get less. No, we don't. I've
I was
never
at a party
been.
with I was at a party with Chris Jenner before the story broke, and I had actually
Yes.
set up an appointment with Levine before that. And we were at a party, and I thought, wow, does she look amazing? She's like
Yes.
close to 70. I mean, you
Yes.
look at some of these women, and you're like, wow, she's extraordinary. And, billionaire status, nothing but money, amazing family. I said, she still scares me and intimidates me. It's so weird. There's certain women like her and Anna Wintour I stand next to, I get a little, because I'm so strong, that they're stronger, but they're beautiful. And even though she's not single, or Jennifer Aniston, like people like
Yeah.
that, you go, wait, who told us we have an expiration date? It's not Logan.
Exactly. We're our own worst. It
That
frustrates
is
me.
men's programming, because at 40, if you were not
Yes.
effable in the movie theater, Okay, when they released the movie, she's not really effable anymore. But the man could be 70 and be effable like
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, and it's okay. It's okay. So that was a programming. So we've been programmed to run with the wolves and make all this money and be successful and not put our personal life first. That's one program. The second program is that we live in a society where women are secondary to men, not just money and finances, just like as a commodity. Like,
Yeah.
who said that? Who made these stories up? You know, and I know, like, when JD Vance was coming out, and I thought his messaging was wrong, but I understood what he was saying about the single
Yeah.
cat. Like, because nobody really wants to be a single cat. Like, it was just that
No.
just blaming women when he should be blaming men. I was a big fan of Charlie Kirk, big fan.
Yeah.
And he followed me and I followed him because we both believe in no sex before monogamy, and we both
Yeah.
believe in a lot of wonderful things in dating that are traditional. And so I thought, like, him getting out there and trying to teach the boys how to be men, even if, and I don't mean the religious stuff, because I'm not a religious person. I'm a Zionist for Israel. I was raised Jewish, but I don't, you break out a
Yeah.
bagel, And so the point of the story was, like, he was trying to raise men and say, be a provider. Don't let a girl put her hand in her pocket. Like, get off your ass and ask her out. Like, if he had son, well, he had one son, right? That
Yeah.
son, if he was around, would have been raised amazing. I'm sure Erica's going to do an amazing story, but I felt like Vance was trying to get a point across, but did it
Yeah.
wrong. There is nothing wrong with being traditional and men leading and you being provided for and nurtured and taken care of. Because if you don't, when you turn 50 and you get into menopause, your adrenals are going to crash. And that's when cancer and inflammation and all these problems start happening, because you've been running like this, trying to tread water.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to do that as female. We are the gatherer. They are the hunter. That is biology. I don't care what anyone says to me. I know my science.
Patty, you know a whole hell of a lot more than science. Thank you so very much. I've almost loved
Thanks
this
for having
conversation
me.
more than any
Like,
other.
Erin, like, DM me. I will fix you up. You can
Oh,
join the Millionaires Club at millionairesclub123.com. And yeah, let's find you a man in the United States at least.
I'm
If the
so
Aussies
excited.
haven't appreciated you, screw them, right?
I feel like I have to, I mean, can't cook, horrendous. Can't
You don't
clean,
need to cook.
horrendous. Yeah.
Cooking and cleaning can be outsourced. You know that. When a man's really rich, he'll hire a housekeeper. That's
You
not a
can
big deal.
tell I've never had a wealthy partner.
Listen, cooking, men grill. You can make sides. I will teach you how to
Yes.
steam broccoli. Okay. But not only that, I don't clean. I have the best class. My housekeeper is like my mother. She is the greatest
I
thing since
love that.
I've ever had. My handyman the same way. I just love cooking because I was raised like that. But
Yeah.
I have somebody else clean. What are you kidding me? I don't have time for that. When you're working hours you work, do you have
Yeah.
animals? Do
I
you have
do
animals?
get someone in to clean. You are. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Absolutely.
have,
No.
do you have animals, dogs, cats, anything like
I've got
that?
a daughter, a 7-year-old beautiful baby
Oh, you have
girl.
a 7-year-old girl.
Yes.
Oh, you need a man. Let's go.
I love
I
you.
mean,
You are
you're
amazing.
gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
And my mother always says my looks are the least impressive thing about me.
Wow, she loves you. She loves
You are
you.
amazing, Patty.
You know what? You need a Jewish man, because you know what?
Well,
I'm going to find you your beshert, because what you've done for our community, you deserve an amazing
oh,
Jewish man. I'm putting it out to you in the university of me.
I'm going to
Yeah.
spend an hour a day, 3 times a week manifesting that like you told me. I
Just
listen to everything you say.
remember, if you had an ex-husband or an ex-partner, just remember the good stuff. Don't remember the bad stuff. You don't have to if you want to change his face to someone hot like Brad Pitt or whatever, go ahead. Namaste. But just remember the feeling of him touching him and kissing you and holding you and saying, you're gorgeous. Honey, don't worry. I got it. I picked up
Oh,
food on the way. Like, you want that.
are you single? That was perfect.
I just started dating like 2 weeks ago after
Oh,
2-year break, because I went to narc school. I had to learn how to
yeah.
spot a narc and a sociopath in the crowd before letting it into my energy field. I
Oh
deal
my
with that a
God.
lot. And I was wrong. I was missing I was giving too many people a chance. I'm way too
Yeah.
nice. I started going, no, 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 no. And then when I got alone, I loved it. It was like, oh, I got to watch my favorite show, eat in bed, do all the things
Greatness.
I want. And I started to go, okay, but now I'm getting horny. So now when you get horny is when you know you got to get out of the house.
You are the queen. I love you. Thank you so, so much for everything. Mwah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I hope that gave you something a little bit different. And yes, I know it wasn't national security or geopolitics or foreign affairs, but it's the stuff that matters just as much. Your own happiness, relationships, love. So I hope you got something out of that. And thank you for giving it a try, even if it was probably the last thing in the world you ever thought you would click on. Love you guys. And we'll see you for Monday's episode, 6 a.m. ET.